to Las Vegas as we get ready for this weekend's UFC Fight Night. Let's welcome back to the program the Beverly Hills Ninja, Jordan Wright. Jordan, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Not too bad. Another fight week. What's it like? Is it everyone the same, or do you try to mix it up a little?
No, I mean, you're always at sometimes you're at a different hotel, or you're with around different people, but it's all good for me. I treat it all the same. It's the best I've ever felt. My weight's good. I'm working with a dietitian now, so I have I'm not feeling super drained. I've always drained myself for these weight cuts and felt like shit throughout fight week, and it affected me on fight night. But now mentally I feel good. Physically I feel good. I feel fantastic.
And just for FCC, he said ship because he knew that I was in the Navy. He said he felt like a ship. That's
Oops. Sorry.
No. It's definitely all good. What's the best and the worst part of what you do for a living?
I mean, the best part is that I get to follow my dreams. The worst part, I don't know. There really isn't a worst part. I guess you could say the least best is I don't really like the weight cut part of it, but it's been great this time. I suppose because you still have to cut out a lot of the junk that you want to eat. But right now I'm full, I'm fat, I'm happy, I'm feeling good, and I'm in the best shape of my life. So yeah, it's all great. I love it all.
Just so I know for the future, Tim Sylvia once told me, his most hated question, and that fighters hate this question, how did camp go? Because then he would always joke, I tweaked my left knee, my toe hurts, my ankle, whatever. So obviously those are things that athletes would never, answer. That's why I don't ask it. So what is the worst question you've been asked other than the one I just asked you?
I guess, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? It's like, dude, I wouldn't be going in there if I wasn't ready. Are you ready is always the worst, because it's typically people that don't know a lot about fighting, and usually it's just from a place of not knowing. So it's like, what else are they going to say? Like, are you ready? Yeah, that's always kind of like the most annoying question I get.
So what happens when the ref turns to you, to start the fight and says, "Are you ready?"
That's fine. That's his job. That's his job. That's the one time where it's okay. Like, I can say that to people now. That's a good point you bring up. I just be like, hey, you ain't a ref. Don't ask me if I'm ready. The ref asks me if I'm ready.
That's beautiful.
So Jordan, going back to the training and the weight cut, I've been around the UFC long enough to where, these guys, when they started, were just, working full-time jobs and then fighting on the weekends. And then it got to the point where it became like a legitimate sport, but they were still using like bodybuilding methods to cut weight, like going into like fight camp and just so lethargic and unable to get off the mat. So with science, are you using any of the recovery tools now, like the altitude tents and the cryogenics and, ice baths and things like that? So, or are you still just doing nutrition?
No, I mean, of course, a lot of nutrition, but one of my coaches is Vladimir Matyushenko. He's from Belarus, so we do some ancient Russian, recovery stuff, a lot of saunaing, a lot of ice baths. Sometimes he'll smack me with the tree branches, which is an old, Russian thing. But no, I don't do a lot of, newfangled this or that. I stick to a lot of the basics: massages, chiropractic, ice bath, sauna, all that good stuff. I stretch, make sure my diet's good, my recovery's on point.
So with the tree branch thing, is it like the gauntlet in jiu-jitsu, like where you run through and they hit you with branches, or how does this work?
No, I mean, it's a little more, it's a little more tame than that. But yeah, they're these branches that they get, and while you're in the sauna, you're lying down, it kind of like smacks you with the branches, and I think it's supposed to bring a lot more blood to like the surface of the skin, because it burns a little extra when he does that. I remember watching a video of Fedor doing it years ago, so I'm like, frick, if Fedor does it, I can do it too. So,
I'm gonna check into this.
Are you familiar with his coach? Are you familiar with him?
No.
Well, yeah, exactly. You said that you've been, involved with MMA for a while. So I'm just throwing you under the bus. That's
since
all.
Like 1993.
Dang.
November 12th.
Yeah, no, Vladimir Matyushenko. He's freaking fought for the UFC title.
Absolutely.
He's the IFL champion. Dude's one of the old school, and he's still kicking ass to this day.
And just for the record, I was at those fights. So, yeah, I definitely know who he is. That's why I threw him under the bus.
My man.
There we go. Curious if you collect anything, whether it's memorabilia, T-shirts, whatever. And if you do, what is that holy grail item that you'd like to obtain?
Like anything? Like anything like collectible? Or?
Yeah, anything.
No, I wouldn't say I do. Like, I don't know. A cool, like, authentic samurai sword would be pretty nice to have, decorate the house. But other than that, I'm not a super materialistic person. But like I said, having a nice, cool sword, that would be pretty badass.
That's cool. Okay, give me your thoughts on your opponent, since that is why we're talking, to get everybody ready, fans ready, media ready for UFC Fight Night Saturday in Las Vegas. Give me your thoughts.
He seems like a nice guy. I met him yesterday. Seems cool. He likes to, he's a Taekwondo, jiu-jitsu guy. Yeah, he's very sticky, kind of a sticky kind of fighter. Like, he really likes to grab you, clinch, get a hold of you, make it kind of a wrestling match, which I'm all prepared for. But yeah, other than that, I don't really focus too much on him. At the end of the day, this is the same guy that you signed the contract to fight first doesn't always show up. So I'm ready to fight anybody.
Does it matter to you as you prepare for the fight? Nice guy, not a nice guy? Talk crap on social media, doesn't talk at all. Any of that come into to bother you or not bother you?
They all bleed red at the end of the day. So it's all the same. it's all the same to me.
Craziest thing that's ever happened, in the middle of a fight, either to you heard, whatever, while you're in the middle of a fight?
Craziest thing. I will say, looking back, there was a kickboxing smoker I had when I was like 16 years old, and I was fighting this dude in his 20s, this tatted up Mexican dude, and I'm, a little skinny little white kid from Los Angeles, and he really took it to me in the first round. I remember, like, the girl who I liked was there, and I was just in high school at the time, so, like, everything was super dramatic. So the girl who I liked was there, my family was there, my mom was there, everyone was there, and again, because I started fighting pretty young, and as a young fighter, I was fighting a lot of adults. But I was fighting this dude, and he just, again, it wasn't even a fight. The first round, I maybe landed a few good things. At the end of the first round, I Hail Mary and threw a head kick. But we had headgear on, and, he was a durable, Mexicans can take a freaking hit. So he was pretty durable in that. And then, the bell rang, and immediately going to the next round, I was just like, well, shit. Crap. Sorry. I was like, well, crap. This is not going my way. I'm getting embarrassed. My whole family's here. That was not a very good round for me. And I just sort of accepted at that moment. I was like, you know what? Probably not going to win this fight. Let's just have fun right now. Let's just perform and do all the training that I've done. And all the pressure was off at that point. All the pressure was off. It was a great learning experience for me in that moment, because going into the next round, he started off strong, but started to wilt a little bit. And then I picked up after that and just unloaded on the dude and finished him with knees. And again, if you're a Mexican guy in your 20s losing to a skinny, 16-year-old white kid, I'm sure that harms a lot of your pride a little bit. But just being able to go in there and have that personal dialogue with myself in between rounds, just accepting it, and as opposed to letting the pressure get to me, because that's what was happening. I was losing because I was letting the pressure get to me. Once I let the pressure go, that's when the true dog in me was able to come out.
That's interesting, because I asked those types of questions, like, what are you thinking? How are you thinking? Are you able to think? Obviously you did. You were able to, in the middle of that fist fight, kind of slow things down, think, talk to yourself, and change the outcome. That's an awesome story.
Yeah. Well, I was rewatching that movie Last Samurai with Tom Cruise recently, and one of my favorite moments in it, he's sparring this one dude, and he's getting his ass kicked, and one of the guys comes up to him, and he's like, you too many mind. And he's like, too many mind? He's like, mind on sword, mind on people, mind on field, too many mind, no mind. And he's like, no mind. And from there, he was sort of able to remove himself from himself and just perform. So I don't want to think a lot when I'm actually competing, but it was cool in between rounds when stuff slowed down. I was able to find it and then have no mind. Just go.
That's awesome. Great stuff.
That's great stuff.
Jordan, what can the fans expect to see Saturday night when you're back in the octagon?
They can expect me to finish another person, add another win to my to my resume with a finish, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Good stuff. Can't wait. Appreciate your time. I know we have your address. We're going to send you another care package from 8 Man Strong. Enjoy it, and let's talk again soon.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, sir.
Jordan sounds ready.
Good stuff. Jordan Wright, definitely ready to get back in the octagon. Great story.
Great
All right,
story.
Let's go hit a break. Coming to you live from